Welcome, everyone, to the Blueprint for Peace for Humanity. This is day 2, the first session in the morning for Monday, July 3rd, 2017. This is a presentation of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute. And today we'll have Mr. Keshe delivering today's instructions and teaching. And I believe he's ready to go in our studio here. Mr. Keshe, are you there?
Yes, good morning, good afternoon to you as usual, wherever and whenever you listen to these teachings. As you're aware, we try to keep the teachings at least till August the 2nd, the same as what we have done. We started it on Friday with a part of the program to teach and at the same time set up the scene for world peace signature of the peace treaty. A lot has been done by the members of the Keshe Foundation core team, the Earth Council and Universal Council in the past few days. We try to keep everything as we have done in the past, according to the way we work and the way we keep our programs running. Where we are at the stage now that the members of the Universal Council, as they are handling all the languages, we have asked them to join us in bringing all the facilities that we can produce a list of name of people who will be part of the members of the what we call to replace the world leaders till the governments take the position.
Mr. Keshe, I think the audio just got weak there. Or is it just on my end?
It's on your end, must be.
No, his audio volume dropped to half or less.
Right, something maybe it came unplugged, like, or.
No, I switched from one machine to another.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The audio is quite weak now. But I guess maybe it'll compensate as you speak.
Let me see something else. 1 second. The speaker, the microphone. Is the microphone better now?
Oh, yes, way better. Thank you.
Okay, so
it may even be a bit too much. Or...
Okay, can you hear it better now?
Oh, yeah, it's quite loud now.
Okay, so it's just switching machine was a bad problem.
Right. Okay. There's a bit of a hum coming from the background there, though, when you speak.
Is it better?
Yes.
How's it going? Yeah, it's the charger of the system. Sometime we have the problem with the system is getting charged. We switch over between 2 or 3 systems that we can keep a track of what do you call it, different bandwidths. As I said, we asked the Earth Council and the Universal Council and the core team to come up in the next few days with a list of all the nations and the name of the leaders and who, as part of the Keshe Foundation, you have to be the citizen of the nation that you can stand. You've got to be born in that and carry what we call the understanding of the ethos of the Keshe Foundation, that you can take your place as a leader of the nation till it's replaced. As we know, nowadays we see men off the street become world leaders. We are not doing anything unusual, but this time we leave it to the soul of the people. As we've seen, a man being a security man in one nation in a retail store now has become the president of the nation. We have seen ordinary people off the street through whatever ways have become the world leaders. There should be no difference. This time the man himself commits himself and his soul to carry the conduct and bring correctness in the conduct, the running of what we call the territory which he or she is from. We have no what are called sexual preferences. Anyone who thinks their soul can carry the nation, they are quite welcome. We just need the forms to understand who they are, and there is no gimmick played in the background. Once we open this application form, within the next day or two, when it's set up, it's just a list of the nations and the leaders, and you enter your name and who you want to be. The first step of setting up the function and process of the establishment of the world peace and signing and agreeing was completed this morning, around about very early hours of this morning, by all the members who were present. The letter was completed and has already been sent through. We expect some answers within the next few days, and then we take the next step. We are fully aware of what we call rogue elements in the background, what they are doing. We are monitoring, and in time and in turn, as they have not managed to stop us, and they've actually helped us a lot to promote our technology and the science, they will come to help us in their own way. We are not bothered. The only thing we are bothered, the only thing is my worry, is that we manage to get the whole process through in the short term and the long term, that we do not get trapped in the old-fashioned ways which has been going on. It is important for us to understand the gravity and the consequence, or the consequences of what we have started. We are setting up a structure which has been every man's dream, to have a just government, to have a just system, that no one needs to travel from one end of the planet to another to have a life which could be desirable, as they cannot have. How we'll achieve it, it'll come in time. I'll explain, we shall see. And in so many ways, it's our responsibility to see this through. Whatever is the path of your belief, whatever is the path of your political work, whatever is the path of your understanding of the science of the man, if you think you can stand as the leader of the nation, that you will carry the ethos of the foundation and bring peace and what I call equality to all humans, as become one nation, join in. We will become in next couple of weeks a powerful organization. We are receiving some tentative contacts from major organizations which are considering and looking in how we set this thing up to join the foundation. There are well-established organizations around the world. They've been trying to achieve, but they have never managed to put everything together, because they were lacking the organization of an understanding of that science can be used to change the course of humanity. For those of you who have approached us and you're trying to find a way to collaborate, as long as the means are peaceful, we join. No adverse activities will be accepted. There is a talk of all sorts of celebration and activities as we approach the week. We have to see the Keshe Foundation, the Earth Team, Core Council, the Universal Council, and the Core Team will monitor. If it means we go into meetings on a daily basis, we make sure this process goes through. It is our job to make sure it goes through. We need another week, 10 days to gather momentum that we are ready. You have to understand that the members of the Keshe Foundation worldwide were, in a way, catapulted into this as we were planning it in the background, to join in and do things and get things done. We will not, under no circumstances, explain or disclose our steps till the step is completed. We need to understand we work as one organization. We got to understand we have to start soul searching. We've seen huge number of people around the world have a
Hello, Mr. Keshe. I think maybe I had to drop out here. Hello. We're not able to hear you, Mr. Keshe, if you're still there. Oh, yeah, there. Looks like he has to reconnect. Okay, we'll have a brief break here while Mr. Keshe comes back. Okay, I see he's back in the Zoom room. Mr. Keshe, are you there?
Can you hear me? I'm back.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay, sorry about this. We're gonna have some problem with transmission today. We're switching between two machines. There is something wrong on the internet linking here. What I was explaining is very simple, and that is we will, in so many ways, try to understand. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly. So we switch back to the old system because there is a lot of what I was explaining is that we might get quite a few of these disturbances. There's a lot of work in the background disturbing the line. What you see as we set up to do as a setting up the world government is a lot of work has been going for 10, 20 years. It's not something that suddenly has come out of blue. We announced for a long time, this was our plan. By setting up the one planet, one nation, one race, course over a year, 2 years ago for this. Therefore, it was upcoming. We needed the right position, right condition. And we have reached that pivotal point to get and to achieve in what we are doing. It will not be easy, but as I said to
Hello, Mr. Keshe. Hello, Mr. Keshe. We can't hear you. You can hear me. Oh, he had to drop out again. Back again. Hello, Mr. Keshe.
about this. Yes, I can hear you. I'm back again. We stay on this system from now until we see something happens. So what we have done, we have set this in over past years, and we will carry on with this same process. What I would like to ask all the Keshe Foundation followers, please don't look where you come from. Look at the way your soul calls upon you to serve humanity. I know as we had in Dubai, a number of people will declare themselves to be, who would like to be, as the member of that nation, as a leader. When we come to that point, we open a platform for each one of you to know who you are, and then we leave it to you amongst yourselves to decide which one and who might serve better. We have seen this happen in the Chinese and other languages in Dubai. It is important for us that we keep everything totally under control, that we do not, under no circumstances, fall into the pitfalls of the past. My job is very simple, and that is I have to stand by and be there if need be to support the Keshe Foundation as the whole structure that stands behind this move. Please, if you know groups, organizations which you've been part of, or you know you have contact with, or you know they are there to achieve world peace through organization of one government, invite them in to join us. As I said, we are not seeking a revolution, we are seeking evolution. Coming days, then we change the whole process to the stage where all of us gets involved. We have to achieve certain preliminary actions and positions before we can go to the next step. Once that step is achieved, which already been taken by the members of the councils in the past 48 hours, then we open the platform. Very, very fast, and at the same time knowing what will be the consequences of the movement. As we said, these are going to be on the daily basis. All these teachings, whatever is coming at the beginning, in the first couple of weeks, the first week, it'll be very slow. Get ready in the background. Whatever you see needs to be done to bring and to go public, different organizations, different media, get yourself organized. You know your nation, you know the language, you know how it works, you know who you have to get in touch with. The Earth Council and the Universal Council will orchestrate a homogeneous one-course action. And in the coming days, as we achieve our first milestone, we open the doors into total operation by all of us. Are there any questions or are there any concerns? We don't want to see the negative. Negative is there. We want to see what you see as a positive we have to do to take us to the next step, or we can use in the next steps of the progress. Are there any suggestions or anyone who wants to participate?
Let's say someone is representative of a group or knows someone that's a representative of a group. Say, I don't know, the mechanical engineers of the world, or of North America, or of some country or something, some particular professional group. How could they get involved with the process? That at what point in this process can they sort of sign on as a group to the momentum of all this?
We keep all the teaching on this line. Everyone can look, everyone can listen and join on the Zoom and the others. We might increase the Zoom numbers drastically by a large number in the last 2 weeks. The foundation has foreseen such a possibility. If we need to go into Zoom and the Facebooks in the large numbers, we'll facilitate. It depends, we're monitoring. All the backup for this has to come into operation with our webmasters. They've been working around the clock in the past few days. Once we have a major position for us, and that's this Thursday. This Thursday is the anniversary of passing of Fabio. And at the same time, on Thursday, the new website of the Keshe Foundation will be opened. It's totally different than what we had. It's taken Ella and the other people who are working in the background in the webmaster team nearly 3-4 months, plus other things, nearly 2 years to bring this website to where it is now. And after that, the work starts on pushing, trying to facilitate as many factors into the whole structure that we can operate, we can bring other groups in. We will go public with it, that we have taken such action. And I'm sure from what I see and what I hear, a number of governments have started looking into what we are doing. We have to stay very concentrated on what we are doing, continuously remind them that we are here to change the course for better of the man. Military people have already started looking in what we are talking about, and we have to give them confidence. The biggest problem will come when these people think their job is in jeopardy, but they don't see that they have a new job, new role. Instead of killing, now it's the job of making. It takes a lot to get a military man to go in that sense. They are used to defending, now they have to make, and it's extremely difficult. It's extremely difficult for them to see how they can bring their forces into this position. I have worked with them before, and I know when it comes to these positions, they lose their bearing. How can we change? And those who support the change will take a lot of convincing the others to join them. Any group who wants to join us, alert and inform that there is such a thing happening. We have to go through this first stage. Once we have the answers, this first stage is in the hand of the Earth Council members, they have to complete it. Then we open up. Then we open up the totality. And it's what I call total run for all the Keshe Foundation supporters. We don't have, we live in a 24-hour time, and we have to live in that 24-hour time. Which means round the clock, all the Keshe Foundations around the world, all the supporters of Keshe Foundations around the world will operate, will work to see this through. This will be our biggest challenge. This is our biggest challenge, without a doubt. How we achieve it, the way we achieve it, and through which channels we go to achieve it. You got to realize world leaders have worked a long time to become world leaders. They are not relenting their position, they are not relinquishing their position without any discussion or going through. Invite anyone, anywhere. They come in, their point of view is as good as the Keshe Foundation followers. They come with a new insight, they see it their way, we do it our way. There is a talk that the weekend before the 2nd and 3rd, all the Keshe Foundation supporters around the world will come to one point in different cities. The discussion is, at the same time, totality of the groups who support this move, each one will decide how to manifest themselves to show the time has come and to allow the world leaders to attend. I was told, and we know that it's a short time for 2 or 3 days from the weekend. I always said, and I said recently, when one of the world leaders dies, within 2 or 3 days, even shorter, all the world leaders gather for the funeral. Now all the world leaders gather for the funeral of the old and celebration of the new. They can make it, they have no problem. We've seen it when one of the world leaders dies. They all gather very immediately to be there, to be shown they are part of it and they want to be there. This is the same. When the momentum builds up,
the world leaders will be there to see the funeral of the past and the beginning of the new. They start gathering, they start contacting, they start making an arrangement and facilities for everywhere. Leaflets, pamphlets in every shape or form, interviews, television, radio, on the internet, Facebooks, to crowd gathering or whatever it is, that such a day has been set up for the World Peace Treaty to be signed by the world leaders. No one is barred. I would like to be very interested to see who will stand for humanity in the correct way, by which leader. Any other question?
Can we, Mr. Keshe, good morning everybody, it's Caroline. Is it possible to start in guiding our workshop teachers that they can join the forces where it's needed to start supporting, like when the army is going to come to a point that they're going to have no more work to do, that we can straightway give them in our different workshops to support what they needed to start teaching them and bring them into the new.
There is a lot which has to be sorted. It's not just armies. The biggest problem will come from governments where their jobs are going to go. In the next week, 2 weeks, as we feel safe, we release technologies for disarmament. We do not leave it to the last minute. The foundation will release technologies that forces international disarmament. It's the release of new technology, a new science. Disarming, not being able to kill, not being able to create tools of war is the main factor in this process. When the governments feel safe, when the wealth across borders stays correct. Armies will change, and we've seen it changing. It just needs a decision of one world leader to move. And we have a couple of world leaders who will make that move. We have to be ready. We have to organize ourselves in the correct way that we can see it through. This is in the next stage, in next 2-3 weeks, we organize, we release. We release number of new technologies. Massive number of technologies will change the course. I gave a lot of hints in the Thursday and Friday. If you go through it, a number of people have already picked on it. Food, agriculture, energy, defense, what do you call defense, space defense, all will be released. We see it fit, we release it. We have to create a homogeneous collaboration, we will release it. Any other question?
I'll remind the attendees that they can put up their hand and then they can become a panelist in order to ask a question.
He says, I would like to participate as a representative of a Slovenian nation as part of new world government. You're quite welcome. Once we release it, submit, there'll be a section you can submit your name to stand. When we don't have a person from a nation due to whatever reason, we announce it, someone else can stand for as a proxy till the nation joins in. We won't leave any nations or territories behind, and it has to be all equal that we can serve the totality.
Mr. Keshe, perhaps Valentin would like to say something. He had his hand up, so I promoted him to a panelist here. Valentin, would you like to say something?
Yes. Hi, Mr. Keshe and all participants. This is Valentin Rozman from Maribor city in Slovenia country. I have been researching the functioning of the governments, and what I understand, there are some official government structures that are public, and there are, like some say, shadow governments and secret military and space programs that are not even to informed, that are not known even to the governments. So I don't know if such programs and forces actually exist, but if they do, how will they be managed? How will peace be ensured, even from the point of stopping these shadow governments and secret military programs?
We do not do anything to stop anything. We will not do anything to stop a government. We will not just do anything to create mayhem or riots or whatever. We deliver a new technology. The new technology will force its way through. As a number of you know, and some of you are here, I know, not for the peace, what we are offering. You are here as usual to steal and run. In so many ways to know the work of the soul and how you can create and use the soul, as we said, for the purposes. None, most of you. I look and I say something very straightforward. You know the story of the Christ. He said, by the crow, by the sound of the cock in the morning, you'll deny me 3 times. Many of people around here are of the same thing. They're here to take and run. But we understand. The whole purpose is to bring all the souls of the man together. Many people have been around us, and we have made it very clear. We are not here to oppose. Those of you who come to learn from what we teach from now on, I have a very bad news for you. Those who come to take what we teach for their own advantage and not serving humanity, you will hear nothing, because you only take the voice and not the knowledge. We've seen this many times. We've seen people who attach themselves to the foundation to find a way, and they're literally doing whatever they can, making everything possible out of the foundation's work, and at the same time going and denying everything about the foundation. We see a lot of things. We keep quiet out of our grace, not out of our weakness. But as I said, a number of people, the shadowy organizations are, we've seen them in the courts last week. The shadowy organizations are the ones who are sitting in different places. 4 or 5 people have brought mayhem to internet. We have instructed, and we are instructing a new team of lawyers that we're going to take every single one of these guys on as of this week. All the standards you put on, all the threats you made will be handled by the firm of lawyers. We shut down all the people who have been shadowing and work shadowing wise. Those who are working scientifically shadowy, they've done their work, whatever it is, we support them. We are not afraid, and we are not hiding and ducking. That's the beauty of what we do. We teach so openly. Why should we worry about who's shadowing us? They've all been there shadowing us, because they have nothing of themselves. Don't worry about these things, because it's time for change. As I said before, we need the arm of peace. We need the arm to feed. We don't need the arm to kill. And in so many ways, when I start teaching about the soul of the man, most of you, those of you who understand, will not touch a GANS, will not touch a maggrav system, you will not touch a single nano-coating material. I have prepared you to this point. The reason we thought so heavily, the GANSes, the maggrav system, the medical system, the maggrav for medical, was one thing and one thing only: to give the followers of the Keshe Foundation the trust, the strength that the fields exist, the soul of the man fields exist. And that's what it was. Now we take you to the point of existence. We have come to the point that we do not need nothing at all if we can use the system which is within us. You need nothing. You don't need no weapons. You don't need no reactors. You don't need anything whatsoever. If you understood the totality of the work of the Foundation in the past 3 to 5 years. I have thought in pigeonholes. Now we open all the pigeonholes to make one system. You have to understand, if you come here and try to just pick up one part, soon you'll understand that it doesn't work. What have I missed? Where have I missed? The work and the reactor, the system, which is within the body of the man, is the most powerful system ever existed. Let me explain to you what exactly is that some of you understood from the teaching of the past. Some of you might understand the explanation this time, and some of you will never understand. It's just another line of talk. Someone asked me, what's the purpose of living? Why are we here? In the last few teachings I explained it, and I explain it again. In the creation of the universe, we need seeds of growth. When you want to plant a tomato plant, you don't go and take your tomato. You take the seed, and that seed carries all the information, what is needed to create a plant and then more tomatoes. It's the center of the energy. It is that seed, the totality, what it needs to create the next dimension, next cycle of life. The planet Earth has been the nursery of universal seed. What it means, you understand, where does my soul go? You understand, why am I here? You understand, the soul of the man is the seed of the creation of new dimensions in the universe. When you want to plant trees, you open a nursery. You put one seed at a time in one plant pot. You water it, it grows. You look after it, it becomes a small shrub, and then a plant, and then a tree. So is the soul of the man, and soul of all beings on this planet. The soul of the man, on its progressive advancement, reaches a point that becomes the center of the elements of the universe, which means it starts a new cycle. It's that seed which we sow in the soil. This time we seed the soul in the fields of the universe. And those who are in parallel and in a strength equal will become the source and the essence of a new cycle of life. This is the secret of creation. The body of the man is that plant pot, is the soil. It nourishes the soul till the soul is ready for it, has gathered enough strength that it can become the seed of a new life in the universe. When we plant this seed, it starts again gathering energy because it has created the first essence of life. And then, as it takes time, it will become a star. The planet Earth is precious for the man of universe. We have very few places like this. It's been told that the Earth is a very high quality state. The quality comes from the soul of the state, not the land of the state. Now may man know why and how it's created and the reasons for its creation. When you go to a salmon farm, they take the eggs till they hatch, and then they let them grow. Earth is in that point. We nourish it in the universe when the seedling have taken root. What is the soul of man? How is created? Is very simple. It carries the essence of all the strength across the universe, which means it has the essence of the creator. It has the essence of every level of creation till the point of the manifestation of his physicality. What it means, the soul needs a place where it has the right condition for it to grow. It has the right environment for it to grow. It has the condition to give and to take. In the physical term, we call it air conditioned. The condition of the air, the condition of the field of the soul of the man is created between his heart, its lung, and its environment. As I explained in the previous teachings, the rhythm of the heart is the pump of the field interaction and attraction from the environment of the man, and at the same time the rhythm of the lung is the giver and the taker in the strength of the field. Many of you will understand if I go step by step. One step is, where is my soul? How do I find the position of my soul? Now that I know my soul is within me, where do I find it? Those of you who've been around with us, it's very simple. It sits somewhere between your two ears and somewhere a distance position from the two levels of the eyes. In the back of the brain, in the center division between the two half of the brain. In so many ways, any man can pinpoint the essence of his creation, his soul, within the structure of his brain. It has no muscles. It absorbs energy of the universe. It needs filtering to receive what it needs, and it needs filtering to give what it needs out. That part of it can be used for the physical part of the man. So, when the soul operates, the brain of the man is the filter for the energy which it needs to exist in the environment of the earth. At the same time, it's a dual carriageway for the same structure, what it means, on the other hand, what the soul releases in interaction with the same structure becomes the information to the body of the man. Sorrow, happiness, joy, movement of the muscles. And the strange is that nowhere in the brain of the man we find a parallel corroboration and the link with the muscle tissue, but we find with the ligament tissue and we find connection with the nerve tissue. So the brain of the man is built to work through the field at a higher order strength, which means absorbs energy from the universe and it gives back to the universe. The brain of the man, if man understands how it works, does not need any blood. It does not have blood. It's one huge reactor. By different strength, by different shapes, and by different, what you call texture, it decides what it absorbs and what it releases. If you understand and go back to the teaching, go back to the nanotechnology. If you remember, we said a nano layer is a super resistive in one direction and superconductor in the other. And the soul, interaction of the field of the soul, uses this property in the brain of the man to conduct or to receive or to give what it needs in given direction. While it's superconductive in one direction through the same cell, is super resistive on the other and absorbs as much energy as need according to its gap, that it becomes the strength of the field of the emotion. And then in the strength becomes the field, the strength of the motion, which is you go from emotion, from the field of the soul to the motion, which is the physicality movement of the body of the man. So if you are looking for your soul, the position of your soul is exactly the same as the position of your eye. It has a specific area, it fits and is pointed in that place. It's immensely small, but carries a massive power. It sits in line with directly the top line of the heart of the man. It works by the rhythm of the heart if you are in a matter state, like the atmosphere of the earth of the planet. The condition and the material which surrounds the soul of the man dictated by the condition of the atmosphere or the material state of the area which the soul manifests itself. The soul of the man, when in deep space, has no material around it like the amino acid, what we know as the brain of the man. As these fields in the space will convert and dilute and change through the gravitational magnetic field of the strength of the environment, so shall be the body of the man. The body of the man, when you look at it, is very much, if you understand it, like rolling a towel. If you get a towel and roll it, it becomes like what we call a roulette, the cake. The soul sits in the center, and according to the pull or gravitational magnetic field of the planet and its environment, this roll opens up and it takes the shape of the environment. In the case of the earth, When this rolls open, the plasma of the body of the man opens, creates for man 2 arms, 2 legs.
Hello, Mr. Keshe. I think we have a temporary problem with the audio. Hello, Mr. Keshe.
For those of you who understand
Hello?
this process, it's very easy. What you need to do is to understand which part of the brain of the man lives through what operation. Then the soul of the man will take its own position. We have to understand one simple point, and that is the condition of the expectation from the life of the man which dictates the physical manifestation of the physicality. Which means what you expect from life is what we have to understand how we can progress. We can decide on the shape of ourselves, on the color and the features of ourselves. If the man gets educated in the truth about his own existence, he will become the chameleon of the universe. Because up to now, you thought you have inherited one thing or other from your father and your mother and the rest of it. What has pleased the soul has become the body of the man. So, as man matures in the spans of the universe, man will come to understand one thing. He is the creator of his own physicality and the creator of his own destiny. If once man understands the process of how to absorb energy from the environment, in the dimension of his physicality, there are tools that one can elevate his own soul to the strength and the dimension as the man needs. What this means, man can absorb energy from the fields of the universe without a single breath. Man can absorb energy from the universe without a single piece of food. This is how life is created and sustained in the universe. And this is the process we teach from now on here. And as I said, within the next 2 weeks, we build it up that the world leaders and the
We have another audio interruption. I'll try to, yes, if we can paraphrase, and we have it paraphrased in the chat there, and I'll try to remind Mr. Keshe when he comes back. The world leaders and their something was the last we heard.
As I said, I have taken 6 weeks.
Mr. Keshe, yeah, we missed something previous too, where you're talking about 2 arms and 2 legs of the human. There was an interval there about a minute, and then you came back and you've been speaking a couple of minutes, and then it cut off at the world leaders and their something.
I do not know. We'll come to it before. It means you're not ready to hear. You know my philosophy.
Yes, I know. people wanted me to make sure that you repeat it, but I said you probably won't want to repeat it. So that's the problem there. It'll come around anyways, I think.
It means we are not ready, or we were not supposed to.
You'll find a different way of explaining it, so we'll understand some way or another. If we need it,
So
we'll get it.
No, we'll get it. It'll come to you. So what is the point of this teachings? As I said, we've been teaching the motions. They've been told they are free to teach, but they can keep their identity, not to fall in the hand of what we've seen, hooligans of the past. On the other hand, it is important for us to understand one thing. Stand still and understand the purpose of the creation. Stand still and look at the totality of the creation on this planet. Understand a composite life on this planet. Then ask yourself one question. The way we have taught in past years, we call them the vertical people, we call it the horizontal people, we call it the fish, we call it the life without physicality above us, according to interaction of the fields of the solar system with the fields of the earth. We see the plants live and exist without the mouth and without the digestion system as we have. We see plants exist, but they have no system for rejecting the materials which they might absorb. So, by looking at the plants, man should have gathered one knowledge: life without lung, life without mouth and digestive system the way we have it is possible. There are physical evidence of it in front of us wherever we look. As I said in my teachings before, we don't see the trees to eat, and we don't see the trees go to toilet. So they have managed to create a condition of the pulse to absorb energy from the environment according to what they receive from the soil or from the land or from the air. This is one point we have to look at. We see the fish does not breathe air, but it still exists. We see that what we call life above us has no physicality, but has full intelligence. We are the bottom eaters of what the top guys don't need. Therefore, if you would have looked at totality, we find out we don't need to eat and we don't need to breathe, but we need to understand the reason for the two processes. The two processes are there to give energy to the physicality, and in return for teaching the control system to physicality, the brain of the man, which holds and in a way encapsulates the soul of the man, needs the heart of the man to receive the energy it needs for its existence from absorbing the environment or from the food of the man. In so many ways, one thing becomes very clear. The soul of the man, if you understand its position and its strength and call it the proton, and if you understand the existence of the proton needs the dimension of the rotation of the electron to keep it in its position on the static motion and release of energy, then if you can stop that electron from moving so erratically around the plasma, with the same field forces that can absorb and give all its energy to proton, the way we see from the behavior of the electron changing its distance from its center, then you understand what we thought from the beginning of the teachings, going back 2 years ago in the medical section, where the flow of the blood of the man, which carries the emotion of the man, carries the same field, the strength in respect to the body of the man, that now in the physical dimension, the body of the man has entrapped the electron, and that electron sits within the heart of the man, cannot move, is locked in. So it has to release its energy in one way or another from what it receives and what it has to gather from environment in one point. And then you understand the heart of the man. If you do not look at it as a vertical up and down, but as a sphere, becomes the source of the energy of the man that it feeds to the soul of the man. This is the secret of life on this planet and in the universe. Twin stars, electron and a proton. Collection of electron, proton and neutron for a higher strength. Nothing has changed. It's just understanding the process. So if you understood this, simply you need to understand one more factor, and that is the heart of the man, through the operation of the blood of the man, it absorbs the energy from the universe and the environment of the man, and like an electron, controls and feeds the soul of the man. Now you understand the secret of life. The rest of physicality is a meager camouflage. If you understood this, you understand another point, and that is the distance between the soul of the man and the heart of the man dictates behavior, the shape, the characteristics, and the strength transformation between the two, dictating everything else about the man to manifest itself in his physicality. The reason we stay the shape we are is because we cannot move our heart. We cannot change the position of the heart and the soul from each other. One carries the soul of the physicality, and one carries the soul of the what we call life of the man. Now, if you understood this, you should be able to control the rhythm of absorption of the energy from the environment through the heart of the man, feed the soul of the man, and what you have, you dictate the expansion of the diameter of the soul of the man, beyond the physicality, within the physicality, and beyond the universe. Now you see, there is no need for food, and there is no need for air. Because all this process is to feed. And further, once you understand more, there is not even need for the blood. There is no even need for the heart. Because in the space of the universe, the blood of the man and the heart of the man is made from amino acid. They shall not exist. But the energy, which what we call as the soul of the physicality, become the dimension in the reality of the physicality of the man. You, in losing the physical dimension, as you decide, brings the electron or the plasma energy of the physicality nearer to the soul, And now you become a more powerful entity. When you reach a new destination, the field strength and the position of the electron, which is created by the heart of the man, will dictate the shape of the man in that environment. Now, how do you do this? How do you come to understand that you can use the operation of your heart, the field expansion of the heart, to increase the love of your soul, which means the giving of the soul. The more you give, the more you receive, the more you absorb from the environment through the heart of the man, that you can make yourself literally invisible, because you yourself create a field that the physicality of the man is not essential. As the electron and the proton are fixed to each other, dictate the dimension of the flow and the rotation, and dictate the evolution and revolution of the electron and proton in creation of the manifestation of the being. Now you understand the secret of life. Now you tell me how we're going to change the kings and the world leaders. It's very simple if you have not understood. In giving to the heart of the leaders, you dissolve the soul of the leaders, and they take the position of balance, which is peaceful position. Every being has a position of peace, which means it finds its balance. It finds its tranquility in the balance of the fields it gives and it takes. I told you, we don't need no revolution. We don't need any marches. Try to find the position of your soul. Try to find the strength of your soul. Try using the breathing techniques, if you understand it, if you haven't understood the totality of it, to control the amount of energy which you allow the heart to receive and to give to the soul, that it dictates the expansion of its field. You remember one thing. If you look at the heart is blanketed around the lung and the liver, the reservoir of the energy of the planet, the reservoir of the energy of the gaseous part. If you understand the control, you can raise the level of the soul of the man to any dimensions you need. It's you who will decide the filtering to be at peace, at joy, at anger. But if you understand the point of equality is that there is no anger, and there is no, what I call, extracting more than what you need, or taking what you do not need, then you understand it's easy. It's as easy as ABC to march the world leaders up the stairs to sign the peace treaty. So find your soul. Find how you strengthen your soul. Some of you who will go through the process in a very rapid way, there are certain indications that you can see the progress. One of the signs of the expansion of the soul, passing the boundary of the physicality, let's say the face, is that go back to your understanding, go back to the teaching. You remember when the light of the, what we call earth, created, When the gravitational magnetic field of the Earth comes in interaction with the gravitational magnetic field of the Sun, which is stronger, what we get is the light. Daylight comes, and we all know when we do it, it comes to that point. So, one of the first things you shall see if you manage to expand your soul in a different strength as a field, in the sphere of the soul of the man, as it expands beyond the level of physicality, as it expands to go through and expand, it passes the liquid of the eye. So you shall see a flashing light. You remember, in a hidden way, many times in my teaching, I refer to the photon in the eye of the astronauts. That was all the time a hidden way for you to understand when the field strength of the soul of the man starts passing through the boundary of the physicality of the man. As the field of the soul increases to pass the field strength of the matter state, as there is a lot of blood around the eye of the man, you will see a flashing light. Then you shall see none. This is the beginning of test. Many of you will be frightened and will not cross this line. Blindness to the strength of the trusting of the soul. In a way, you create your own shield. But this time, you watch the progress of crossing. As the strength of the soul, the field strength, crosses the liquid of the eye will flash. And from that point on, if you can hold on, if you can persist, you will see a new dimension where you become a fish in the tank. You become the fish in the tank of the soul of the man, which is yourself. In so many ways, as you go through the expansion of the strength of the soul, you feel like shimmers. You feel like waves through your body. Because now the field, the center of the body of the man, which is the soul of the man, interacts with all the systems in the body of the man. You grow from inside out like a wave. You warm up. The heart will make no more noise, as there is no need for the operation of the heart. If you can understand and understand totally that the soul of the man carries the emotion of the soul level, it's exactly as you felt the emotion through your brain. I made man in the image of myself. Where did the emotion part of the brain come from? Because it exists in the emotion in the section of the soul of the man. Now you understand. You see and you understand the existence and the presence of the other souls. You see and understand, if you are mature enough to control when the field crosses your eyes, if you could hold essence of the creation in the soul, in the palm of your hand, your wish will change the field of the souls in the palm of the hand to whatever you desire. From water to gold, from oxygen to plutonium. This is how materials in the universe are created. Now the man understands the full transmutation of the element, which in fact is the transmutation of the physicality of the man to totality of the soul, and then the reversal of the elements and the strength of the soul back to physicality. As I said in other teachings, in the writing of Baha'u'llah, bless his name, he says, the maturity of the man comes where he understands fully the transmutation of elements. As I said in other teaching, you look at gold to make silver and to make gold out of copper and whatever. But that wasn't the meaning of the promise of the Prophet. The promise was that you can change the heart of the man to the energy of the soul of the man, and in time when you need, you can transform the energy of the soul to physicality of the man according to the dimension and environment which exists. This is the true transmutation of elements, not changing gold to mercury and zinc and the rest. That's the opinion and understanding of the physical man, and the time for that is long over. When you can and you understand to control the rhythm of your heart by absorbing the energy from the environment of the man, then you understand there is no need to kill, there is no need to destroy, and in absorbing what you need, you satisfy the emotion of the man, that there is no desire for power, as you carry the totality of the power. The power comes in being able to furnish the needs of the man according to the wish of the man. Now your wish is your command. A lot of people came this morning to understand about the creation of the soul. A lot of you will walk away because you will not even find the strength to test your own soul. Because the fear of loss of physicality is so strong that you do not even trust your own strength. As I said many times, many will walk to the spaceship, but not many will get on the spaceship, because the man is the spaceship of itself. If you like physicality, we gave you the course. If you want to understand the work of the universe without physicality, we have taught you the soul. Now it's your turn. Try to practice. I'll come back tomorrow morning and see how many of you start managing control of non-dimensional reactor, which is your heart and your soul. Breathing can give you the first step. Some of you will go directly for the control of the heartbeat, but be aware that this is a dangerous road. You have to create a flow. And by creating the flow, you create the circulation of the fields, which then, depending on how much you release and how much you hold, gives you the expansion of the soul of the man, and with it, the flight of the man into deep space as he needs or wants to. In time, next time, when I teach you tomorrow, remind me to explain to you how to make lights out of your own soul, that in releasing it, you can create the condition of the atmospheric, if you want to stay within the physical body of the man, within the crafts of the universe. Now I hope you learned. This morning, I have released to you the secret of creation. The secret of life in the body of the man, and the secret of existence in the physicality of the man. Now it's for you to understand. Find your soul, and with it, you'll find the key to the secret of existence in the universe. Any question?
Thank you, Mr. Keshe. Well, of course, there's the question in the live stream from EC, what are the breathing techniques? But I think you're hinting that that might be given out over time, or perhaps tomorrow and sometime later.
Gradually we teach you. Now we put the carrot out and the stick. You all want a quick ride. Get it and run. Not this time.
Yes, and of course...
Good morning, Mr. Keshe.
I can hear Caroline laughing in how Azar managed to jump in so fast.
What happened? I didn't jump in so fast. I just came, give it a little bit time.
Carry on, please, Azar.
Mr. Keshe, you talk about the timing and the place we were born was important. My question is, the place we were born, now if we have moved to another place, we live totally different area, does it matter in accessing our soul? No. It doesn't.
No, it doesn't. You can do it in the universe, any way you like. You want to write the GPS position of your soul? It doesn't exist.
The reason I'm asking, certain environment when I travel, I feel more comfortable in my body than in other places. It's something different. Like living in US feels different, and going to Europe feels different. Going to Tehran actually absolutely different.
It's the state of the emotion which gives you the feeling. It's nothing to do in understanding or change in the position. You feel different because of the emotion. What you want to receive and what you want to give and what the environment gives and takes from you. We are slaves of our environment, and this is what man has never understood. The shape, the color, the height, the habits comes from the interaction of the fields of the environment with the soul of the man. It's literally like, you know, these curtain rolls you have? You know, we have these cream, what I call cream rolls, cakes, which you spread cream over a sponge cake and then you roll it. And in Farsi we call it roulette. And if you put that, or if it's easier for you to understand, get a kitchen roll and hold it in a horizontal position in respect to the earth. Hang on it a 5 gram weight and see how much it pulls. Take it off and hang on it a 10 gram weight and see how much more it pulls down. That 5 gram, 10 gram is the gravitational pull of the environment of the center of the earth or the moon. Then you see how the paper will twist and turn. That dictates the shape. So the interaction of the soul of the man once it's created in respect to the earth, which is that weight, dictates the height, the shape, the size, and everything else. But in respect to the body of the man is a composite field. And he has managed to find order in this composite. Which part becomes the eye, one becomes the leg, one becomes the God knows, whatever you want to call it. As I said, we don't find our brain on the tip of our toe, and we don't find our toes on top of our ear because it's the way it's shaped. Why do we have 5 toes? Why do we have 5 fingers? Why some people don't need 5 toes, they are happy with 2 or 3? Because it's the amount of the fields which they can absorb which counts, not the number. Why do the birds have 3 and us 5? And the other 2 hides in different shape and form. Why do the birds change their fingers into feather of the wing? Because they absorb different energy through the feather. We have to understand, not the assumptions which we have made up to now. Why do some animals happy they live in a hot atmosphere and they travel halfway around the world to get that where it's warm according to what they need at the given time? Understanding that the magnetic field of the earth continuously changes. How do they go to the point and the same place all the time? They leave a marker of field in both places at the point of their life and the point of landing. And that's all they do. That's their what we call the heart. They leave the electron behind and they fly between the 2. As simple as that.
I got a question, Mr. Keshe. Good morning, everybody. I actually have 2 questions. The first one is to please explain to us, when we are progressing a bit further, how we can involve and teach our children. But something came to my mind, and this is a question. One is a request, one is a question. How is it possible, if we come to understand this point, that we can even, by guiding the soul, it doesn't even need to come into the physicality, because we are creators? If we understand how to change and to come to understand our full content and possibility and creator as a soul, we can even prevent our children to come through this birth process and physicality, to go through all this learning and problem. What we
You know something, I think you've been deaf for past 26 years, 28 years we've been together.
Excuse me.
You've been totally deaf. I repeated again.
All the souls can do it on soul level. But
excuse me. Let me finish.
Okay, not deaf.
We come to the dimension of physicality because there's a lot of pleasure in it.
Ah, Mr. Keshe. The pleasure of physicality, I understood that one, but it's not so pleasurable as you've been complaining.
Yeah, but it depends what you got in your hand, doesn't it? But what it means, what it really means, that's what I've said all the time over years. When you pass the point of the evolution of understanding, living a non-dimensional, tangible life as a field, sometimes it's beautiful to have a physicality. As I always say, whenever we need a resting time to enjoy the existence, we choose a physical life. We learn a lot, allows us to see the pitfall. When you work in a factory, you cannot be a manager if you don't know all the pitfalls, what goes wrong and where. So this is why we chose the life of physicality. But in essence, physicality leads to creation of the soul, and the soul itself leads to creation of the much more powerful physicalities. That's why I said the soul of the man is the seed of the creation in other dimensions and positions in the universe. Teaching the children going through the... Pardon? Teaching the children, we can teach our children in one instance, the knowledge of the universe.
But it's
Hello?
a very painful process. Why can't...
Hello, you're getting cut off. Can you hear me? Hello? Rick, can you hear me?
Yes, Mr. Keshe. I think we're having trouble with Caroline doesn't have a good line, and we're only hearing a part of her conversation. I think she got muted because of that, and she's trying to speak again. Maybe it'll come through. Try saying what you want to say, Caroline. Mm.
Oh, it's very
her microphone's open, but
quiet, isn't it? It's very unusual to see a woman quiet. So we better use the opportunity.
Okay, the mic is open, but she's not coming through. So yeah, carry on.
When it comes to teaching of our children the knowledge of the universe, our children are born with the knowledge of the universe. They carry everything in essence. And if they choose, they can adapt to any condition. If they choose, they can become what I call the true man of space without ever being born in the physical dimension. We choose the physical dimension because of the condition we are in. In deep space, we can never give birth the way we do on this planet. It's impossibilities. We change accordingly to the environment and the strength which we are given. The position of the bone in the chest of the man is a filter for the energy which the heart can receive, because that's the energy level maximum the body can control that will not go over. There is a reason our heart is encaged in the position it is. Your bones are nanofilters. That's why the cage rib. We always think that it's there to protect the heart, but it's the filter of the emotion. You have that in your brain. In the brain, you have the skull. In the brain, inside the structure of the brain, we have filters. But for a given filter in the body of the man, the body of creation, everything has been given a protection and filtering according to what it needs to receive. Bark of a tree is its filter. It's not just its skin. We can teach our children very rapidly the knowledge of the universe. Any other question? One thing which I have to say is that in the universe, we teach our children the knowledge of the plasma, fields interaction. They convert that knowledge into the physical knowledge. One day I teach how fast you can do things at the flick of a finger. You will achieve it, because once you understand the strength of the absorption of the field of the emotion, then you understand why we speak even different languages. And you can open that, and any language in the universe is open to the man. That's why we created Universal Council on the basis of the language.
Mr. Keshe, we have someone, Marek, that wanted to ask a question, if that's okay right now, or?
Yes.
Did you?
Yes.
Okay. Not sure what the question's about, but Mark, are you there? Can you unmute, or I'll unmute you? Hello? Can you speak, Mark?
I no speak English.
What language do you speak? What language do you speak?
Polish or Germany.
We have Paul.
translator.
Paul is here. I think he might be able to help with that. Paul, can you help with the...
Jeżeli ktoś mówi po polsku, to tylko chciałem powiedzieć, że przypadkowo włączyłem mikrofon i przepraszam. Także w sumie ja nie mam pytania.
Is there anyone here that can translate that for us?
Hi, it's Pavel. Marek, he said that, he accidentally pressed the microphone, and he do apologize for that.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, he put his hand up, so I brought him in.
If I'm on, can I raise the question, Mr. Keshe? Good morning.
Yes, that was a good excuse to get in, wasn't it?
Yeah, there is no coincidence, isn't it, Mr. Keshe? Yeah, that's true. My question is regarding the positioning of the soul. If, let's say, we manage to locate our soul.
What do you mean you manage? You know exactly where it is. You're frightened to find it.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Okay, let me explain to you how we do it. Let's go one step at a time. If you go back to some of the teaching, I explained very, very simple where you can find the position of the soul, which has got no physicality. One of the easiest ways for it is put your headphone, if you can get hold of adjustable headphone, and connect it to the stereo system, or put a stereo system on the floor and move your head till you don't hear no more with the physical ear. You hear the noise in the center of your head. There are no vibrations. It's exactly what's going to happen to your heart when you get the right strength going through your heart. There is no pumping anymore. Because that pumping is to create gravitational field flow. Your heart continuously creates a small sphere of plasma inside it, field plasma, not matter plasma, that it keeps like a proton and electron in position. That moving of it creates the feeding of the heart, the brain, or the soul with is what it needs from its environment. So, if you're looking to find one of the easiest spots where your soul sits, that then you can direct your emotion to it, get yourself a stereo system, put it, doesn't matter what, space from each other, lie flat on the floor, and start moving your head in a direction that to the point that the physical vibration of the brain can, what they call ears, cannot be heard. You hear the music right through the noise of the soul of the man. If you can make it quadraphonic in a certain way, you can pinpoint your soul, and then you direct your emotions to it. I have taught this many times in the teachings over the years. So, on the other hand, when you look into the deeper space, when you look out, don't close your eyes. Whenever you try to find your soul, the biggest mistake to make is to close your eyes. Because then you don't see when your soul has expanded beyond your physicality. It's very much in your body, is like a hot water going through your body. You feel it, but you don't know where it goes. But you see the light, and then you understand. Those of you who close your eyes, it means you have not understood. Look into deep space, and you see when the flashlight comes. If you become good at it while you're walking everywhere, anywhere, you see flashes of light. See somebody's taking a picture, but in fact there's nobody taking a picture. It means you have mastered to expand your soul to feel what's ahead of you and what is not ahead. It's like a radar. I do it quite frequently. I've said many times. As I walk, I see flashing lights. It's the same as the astronauts when the fields of the cosmos reduces into photon in their eyes. It's the same thing. It's that kind of flashing, but you see the flashing at the same time in both eyes. It's not just in one. Then you know you're expanding or retracting your soul. It's so easy to find it. But you control it initially to your emotion. Your emotion has a field strength. It's like different nano layers. You have to master how to release it, how to expand it, how to change it. How come one is grief and one is joy? What's in between? Passage of the field. The joy, it blocks more. The grief releases more. Then you understand how you can control your soul. Those who are expert at it, especially Buddhists, will click on it like nothing. The Chinese will have a field day now that they know what they got to do. The breathing is not a secret. The heartbeat, which allows the float of that electron field plasma in the heart of the man, which its position, small vibration of it. In the nuclear physics, we call it the between S1 and S2, the bandwidth which the electron moves. Now you trap that electron with the heart and you dictate it. Why do we think very fast when we are in fear and the heartbeat changes? Because we release so much energy, heartbeat with the fear. Why do we have a different heartbeat with joy? If the world of medicine understands, this is why we close the hole in the wall between the two chambers of the heart at the point of changing from the fish to air breathing. It's not that there is a hole, it's the field which is by change of its strength solidifies to matter state of the gans than being the field of the gans. That's the position of the electron of the heart of the man. Those of you who are from world of medicine know exactly what I'm talking about. It's not that the hole closes, it's the strength of the field changes, that it changes the field from field to matter state. Now if you understand that, you can do the reverse. The physicality of the man will not exist till the man decides to give its manifestation. 1 second there, 1 second not. What's the next question?
Mr. Keshe, we have someone, Ivanov has a question about what you're talking about. I'm not sure.
Paolo is still asking his question.
Okay.
Yes, if I can do if I disturb someone with his question.
Carry on.
if I can describe something, Mr. Keshe, because that's what you were explaining earlier on. It brought me a lot of confirmation in understanding what actually is going on in in me, but not only me, but a lot of other people's which run. In a way, through the banking process, we managed to locate our souls. But the lack in our understanding was that for some reasons we couldn't feed the soul enough to keep it, well, I don't want to say running because it's running all the time, but to keep it ourselves aware of her, how to call it, work, or of her existence in us. And we couldn't understand how to feed the soul. So in a way,
now you know how to feed it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But in a way, if we're gonna focus, let's say, on the two hemispheres of our brain, so every single, let's say, hemisphere works like a different pump. Well, with the different pumping, how to call it, pumping ratio, and then those two hemispheres are creating something like an emotional residue between them. And then can I put that back into the soul from the brain itself? Hello?
I hear you. I hear you, Paul. I'm not sure if Mr. Keshe did. Hello, Mr. Keshe. Well, I may have to hold that question for another minute. Paul, if you can carry it.
Well, I just finished. Maybe we shouldn't hear the answer yet.
That's what Mr. Keshe might say, yeah. He wasn't meant to hear the question.
Yeah, if I can, I would like to, thank all of the people around the Keshe Foundation and basically, Mr. Keshe and Carolina and the whole core team and actually all of the people bringing this beautiful thing, to this planet in a way. So I'm deeply, from deep of myself, I say thank you and I salute your knowledge.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Hello.
I'm trying to go on the screen with the sharing.
Okay.
Can you help to go with the other, with my other number? Yeah. I'm trying to get this.
May I ask how long this teaching, when this teaching finished, please? Is it 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock?
1 o'clock.
Hello, did you hear me?
Yes, we finished 1 o'clock. Rick, I need on the other channel to be able to share a screen.
Okay, let's see here.
Yeah, I see your face, but I don't get the chance. Oh yeah, that's it. I'm coming up.
Yeah, you're in the viewers, Mr. Keshe. I promoted that computer.
Yeah, okay. It's still rotating. Oh, okay, it's coming up. I'll go there. Share the screen. What it is, if you look at it this way, when you ask for your soul, I'm gonna use the pen. Your hemisphere, your brain has this hemisphere and that hemisphere. This, if you can change colors, in a way, the magnetic field of this is connected to the magnetic field of this. And the magnetic field of this is connected to the magnetic field of this. If you look at it in a simple way, this is very much the position of the soul of the man, which is right in the bottom. The splitting of the body of the man in two parts is due to the physicality on this planet of the existence of copper and its matter state, zinc. So if you're looking exactly where the two sit, that's what we call the soul of the man. You can control the heartbeat, and then you can control very much the structure of everything within the connection. One side, which is the left side in the physical part, is always weaker. So it needs feeding, is gravitational, and it feeds into the other side. So in doing so, this side of the brain, which is on the right side, is always has to be the stronger. Otherwise, the two cannot feed each other. So in balancing of the two, now this side on the left side is weaker, which gives you the stronger right side of the body of the man. That's why most of men are stronger on the right side. It's the balancing of the fields of the two.
Mr. Keshe,
So,
can you hold on
yes.
one moment? Looks like Rick has dropped out, and I'm just trying to get him back in.
Have we lost the YouTube?
Live stream looks like it's been out. So let me just try to get Rick back in.
Yeah, YouTube's still going.
Okay, we carry on. Is the Facebook one? Or have we lost the Facebook?
No, just live stream.
Just live stream. We hardly use it anyway. Is he back yet? Are we there yet?
Not yet. It looks like he's having an issue. Maybe you should just continue, and he can pick up where he comes in.
Then we can do they can do a join up. Maybe Canadian government decides it's going to have a power cut. So what we see, in fact, is that the balance between the two creates the flow. In so many ways, we dictate by the position, the totality which we have. It's very easy to find the position of the soul of the man. But the hardest thing is to be able to feed it, to control it, to nourish it, to be able to understand how to control it. One of the ways of controlling the soul of the man, if you understood, I made the man in the image of myself, so the soul has an emotional strength. You can use initially the emotional physicality part to increase the field of the soul. It's very easy, but you have to learn. Now, I finished teaching this morning. It's for you to debate this afternoon how you're going to find the position of the soul. How you're going to find the position of breathing. Some of you are already familiar with it. Some of you will find it very difficult to fit into it because it does not cover the criterion of what you have thought. If you understood the position of the soul of the man, and if you understood the extension on the work of the body of the man, you soon understand something very interesting. And that is, how far can you travel with the soul of the man? Very, very far. You look into the deep space, you can position the partiality, the electron of the soul of the man, and travel the depth of the universe in no time. If you ask me, why do we come in the dimension of physicality with all the hardship that we can walk and everything else? It has a lot of beauty, physicality. It's just to appreciate it. Any other question?
Mr. Keshe, this is Arthur again. Why the Buddhists have an easier time to find the soul? Because they meditate a lot, or just the culture?
The Buddhists, in so many ways, are very close to understanding the operation of the soul, because they somehow get detached from physicality. When you get detached from the physicality, you'll find understanding of the structure of the universe. Your heartbeat changes. Your interaction between the soul of your physicality, which sits within the heart of the man, we call it like an electron, and the soul of the man, which is the physical part of the brain of the man, then they can find rhythm. This is like exactly what, if you go back, remember we said when you go to the Western Wall and you just bang your head against the wall and you've seen the rabbis heading and rocking, they make a confusion between the motion of the soul compression against the, what we call transition point between the center of the soul and the physical structure of the brain. And that increases and reduces the strength in the heart position, strength of the electron. And it gives addiction in a way, because you keep on pumping, you keep on demanding more energy. The people, the true men who manage to go to understand, they do transform. If they understand the totality and watch what you're doing, Buddhists should be very easy for them to leave their soul or to leave their physicality, because they can take it with them. They can take their own physicality up. We see these things more in the East than the West, because in so many ways it doesn't come by suffering, it comes by understanding the position of. Let me explain to you on the board, now that it's on. When I was explaining before, it's like this. Where is my pen? This is the head of the man. This is the physicality of the man. This is his arms. We are looking at him sideways. Sorry about that. He didn't have much food. He's very slim man. So the heart sits here. The heart of the man is here. You look at feeding or absorbing energy in this direction. Where is it? Blue. But in fact, the soul of the man feeds in this direction. The heart absorbs energy this way. Is not this way. It absorbs this way and it feeds this way. And through it, it creates the rotation. I'm not a very good artist. One day somebody will draw it. But this is in essence what it is. We absorb energy once we become master in it from here. That's why the rhythm of heart is important. It's not that the lungs is the heart which pulls. And if you understand this, as I was explaining in the teachings to our knowledge seekers, to our emotions, very interesting thing will happen. And that is, you see, the lung is blanketing the heart. When you breathe in, you don't bring any more energy inside. Now you have trapped energy, and when you hold your energy, your breath, you have trapped the field inside. The liver is on there and the lung on top. You can push the limit of the amount of energy from the air into your lungs that it passes on to the heart. From that point on, the heart starts absorbing energy from the environment. And if you can control it, the heart will not beat. Because now you control the position of the soul of the heart, the soul of the physicality, which in reality, if you look at it, it sits. If I can find the right color, it sits here at this point. The position of the soul of physicality, this is the proton and this is the electron. This heart cannot move, so dictates the field forces which gives the physicality of the man. The strength of your heartbeat creates the flow. The strength of your heartbeat, which absorbs energy from the environment, dictates the shape, the behavior, the soul, and how much energy you absorb. That's why people of the same structure, same area, which gives them physical interaction with the gravitational magnetic field of the earth, which is dictating the absorption to here, the behavior of a culture. Because that dictates the behavior of the emotion and is fixed because the field strength is there. And once stays and becomes part of your physicality, it becomes of your RNA and DNA. But the soul, the energy from the soul touches the RNA, not the DNA. And then the same way, the soul is affecting the physicality, which dictates the change in DNA. So simple. Find your soul, you fly anywhere in the universe. Try to find out how you can control your soul. You don't need to eat or breathe. And then try with another soul, your partner, your friend, your child. Find how you can give unconditionally and how you can take from the soul of another to give. You will see a light in between us. You shall not see the body of the man. You shall see the man as the soul of the man in his field. We don't see the center of the sun. We see the interaction of the fields of its physical matter with the field inside, that it gives the light on the surface. When you understand and you can extend your soul by giving, what we call love, and you find the same strength of love as you can receive, you see light. In the language of physicality, we call it the beauty. We see the beauty of our partner. To anybody else, the partner could be the ugliest thing God ever created. But as its field strength is according to what we can receive, she's the most beautiful or is the most beautiful animal, partner, or whatever we like. This is why we say beauty is a skin deep. It's the skin of the emotion of the man, and that's all it is. Any other question?
Mr. Keshe,
Are you back, Rick?
I'm back, yes. I'm
what
not
did
sure
they do
what
to
happened
you?
there. Well, Zoom didn't want me in for the good part, I guess, and I'll have to review that later. But the live stream kept going, but I didn't have any broadcasts for it during that time, so it'll have to be patched up a bit there. We lost 5 minutes or so. I did anyway.
Maybe a heart transparent.
Maybe
the soul of the computer wasn't with us.
Well, this universe works in strange ways, that's for sure. There was Ivan who wanted to get in because he has to leave soon, and he had a question about heart and heartbeat, so I thought it might be appropriate for now.
Yes.
Perhaps we can get Ivan in.
Hi, Mr. Keshe. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Look, I was practicing a lot what you say about this, the heartbeat and stuff, and I'm able to achieve some things. But the thing is that I don't know about the heartbeat. I do it with intention. And in the way that you say that you have to find where is the soul, I was going in a very logical way, because everything in the body and the heart and everything grows out of the soul, actually. It's unpacking, as you said. So even the thoughts are going out of the soul directly. So I was able to go in like meditation and just say like, concentrate to find the soul and say push, 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 like to increase the magnetical. And in certain moment, maybe after 1 hour and something, I can feel the fields around me like magnet pushing. But this has nothing to do, I cannot feel that my heart rate is changing in any way. I just feel that the field is expanding and I can feel the surrounding. And this is by trying
but
to
if you
increase the
can
magnetical.
direct it, if you can direct it to receive or to give to your soul, you'll find out you create a field around you. You can feel it. You can put your hand through it.
Yeah, but how can I direct it through the heart?
It's not through the heart. The heart is just a tool, point of reference.
Yeah, I understand this. I have to make the flow from the...
Yeah, but the thing is, what comes the flow? The flow doesn't come by taking. The flow comes by giving.
Yeah, exactly. I give. I say to myself, give out. And that's where I feel the things
No, it doesn't
around me.
work. Sorry, the soul doesn't understand the language of give out. You have to understand a way or find a way where you can release vast amount of energy to your soul. And then the funnel starts.
Yes.
And it doesn't come by give up, giving, loving. Understand the true meaning of love.
No barriers.
No.
Yeah, okay, we can speak like this.
You got to practice. You got to practice. You will understand.
But okay, what is the instruction? Like we can say love, hate, okay, it's emotions, but I have to direct the flow somehow. I have to, I don't know, I have mathematical mind. I have to find the logic in what I'm doing.
Yeah, as long as you want to find a logic, you won't find an answer. You have to understand the this is what you want to translate it into something that you have control. The biggest problem of the man is the control. Man is a control freak. And as long as you control, you want to control, it means the physicality has taken over the dimension of the soul of the man.
It's not about the control. Mostly it's like understanding where I'm going. To know, okay, I'm on the right
exactly
path.
It. Control. Understanding is the control. The trust in what your soul does is more important than understanding. And the thing is that now that we started this process, many people will start practicing. We shall see, we will feel.
even what the Buddhists make, I was looking what bullet and he was explaining how he's rising his temperature a lot and how he's cooling it a lot. So I was thinking that I can do the same. And I actually did
but
it
you go again to physicality. We passed that point a long time ago.
Yeah, but this is with the controlling of the fields in the soul.
No, because they translate. Let me explain to you. You translate the control. Soul does not need control. Soul needs feeding to feed.
Okay, feeding to feed. I understand. I have to increase the magnetic growth, so I increase the gravitational, and from the in part to go out.
It is so easy. It is so easy. It's in next few weeks we teach. Let people start. People will
yeah, but I'm trying to understand it for 5 years and more.
That now is the first time we start teaching, and you don't teach everything in one go because we lose a lot. And as I said, we are not here to show magic.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I want to understand how exactly I do it. So
do you feel your heartbeat? Do you feel your heartbeat?
I can feel all the fields in my body, and I can control the heartbeat also with the breathing.
Yeah. So do you feel a heartbeat? Do you feel a heartbeat? Yeah. So it means you haven't managed to cross it yet.
Yeah, I understood this. I understood this in the last 30 minutes.
You're still in the physical dimension and you're pushing it because you haven't learned it. If you feel it physically.
That was a trick question.
He walked into it because I know the answer.
Fell right into that one.
The thing is that you were explaining this in the last 30 minutes. I understood it. The question is how to do it. Okay.
How to do it. To put it this way. I explained this in some of the teaching before. It's like having a pearl coated with sugar coating. How do you see the beauty of the pearl? You got to put it in the hot water that the sugar melts and the pearl stands out. You have to let the dimensional physicality emotion to disappear from your restriction. It's you who tries to feel the temperature. The minute you say Buddha was controlling temperature, Buddha never passed the point. He got stuck in the physicality. In this time, we are teaching you that let the physicality go, that with it, you can teach the dimension of the flow of the field. And you can feed it. It's very much, go on the internet, look at the houses in East Asia or in center of Iran. They make a little hole at the bottom of the house in the building, and they make a tunnel right the hole on top of the house. In the desert, it's so cold that you need blanket to sleep in the house. It's the giving in a way that increases the rate of the flow. You don't close the hole at the bottom of the house. You control the flow on top of the house, how much you give out. Then you control the temperature. And if you reverse it in the winter, it's so boiling you can't sit in it. It's you who you're trying to control the gravitational, and then you call it the magnetic. You're trying to control what you receive, that you forget that I'm not giving actually, I'm just controlling what I get that I can give more. And it's the total. You got to give more on condition of what you receive. And you find out that they'll come. You will sit there. If you can do it, you can see your hand in front of you not existing because you create that dimension. You can create an environment that is balanced between your soul of your physicality and your emotion, which is the soul inside your brain. And then you find you create a field beyond imagination. Time will not exist. And it won't happen tonight, and it won't happen in one go. It won't happen next week if you don't understand one thing. You haven't found the position of your soul. And the position of soul, in finding it, you find the strength of it, and then the system starts.
Actually, and when you go in something like
Oh, this is going to be as confusing as when we went from the gas reactors to GANS reactors, you remember? So this is going to be more confusing because there are no GANSes and there are no reactors except the soul of the man.
Yeah, but this is what is
Mr.
interesting.
Keshe, I want to add something here. You know, I talking about the heart. I mean, I have this experience on and off that suddenly in my chest is not the rhythm of the heart. I feel this movement, just like infinity loop, constantly dancing in my chest, and then suddenly I feel something above my head moving, and I don't understand it. It comes about 5 minutes and goes away. And sometimes when
Is
I
that
try
since
to,
you fell in love or is that before?
it was before. And mostly I feel it in my office when I'm interacting.
No, it's
Who's
just the pills moving. Just the pills
You
moving
will.
and concentrating.
Yeah,
what
the
happened?
thing is, your problem is all of you are trying to control. Trust
Mr. Keshe, I'm
in.
not trying to control anything. I
Oh,
was
yes, you
working
do.
because I'm
In
working. And I'm,
subconsciously, you do.
so how can we fix
Subconsciously, we do. Oh, detachment, understanding that everything is okay. There is nothing wrong. The minute you realize it, you're going to feel it, then you want to control it. Let it flow, you will see it. If you are good in what if you can take it to a point, you can sit out and watch with the eye of your soul, your physicality. In a way, you feel the dimension of physicality, the way you feel the existence of it.
So what you're saying is, in my daily life, suddenly I think something is wrong. I'm trying to fix it, and that's why I get stuck.
Yes, in a way. In a way, it doesn't need fixing. Let it go, but try to understand how it flows. It's a motion. It's literally like reactors. You know, I can explain this in a physical sense. When you run the reactors and you change the speed, or you bring another reactor near the two-core reactor, one reactor stops rotating, or one reactor stops motion and slows down or goes faster. Your soul is in the same way. Your physical directional soul, which is in the heart, and your physical soul, which is in your brain, they are constantly interfering and finding balance between each other. You cannot change the position because it's fixed. Your heart position, the soul, the position of soul of the physicality is fixed, and the emotion is fixed too. So the only thing which is left for you can change is the rate of flow. And if you increase it to a point, you'll understand you can leave the physicality, or you can increase it to the point that the physicality becomes like an eggshell inside. You are becoming inside the shell of your own soul. The physical body does not exist. And this is important. Now that we start teaching, gradually more and more people will start learning. And then you will see. Then you will understand that one of the first times we see when this process starts in masses, the first thing people will reject are religions. Because the belief in path of restriction, of control, has created this condition, this cage for the man. And man become resentful of it. And that's what I said. From now on, no one can control the movement of the man progressing so rapidly. Then you see the truth. Then some of you will start, in the coming days, I teach you how to produce light bulbs, balls of lights in your own hand. And then when you release it, that becomes your external point of reference, electron if you want to call it. And you balance yourself in respect to it. You find motion, you find emotion, you can find directional movement. It's very easy. But now we are not teaching magic. Now we understand the soul of the man is inside the body of the man. Now we show how it can be freed and how it can be used, because that's all it is. When it releases certain feelings, certain strength, it becomes your hand and it converts into physicality of you can feel. Now you can extend it without dimension. It becomes a ball, it's become a light. And if you can, for example, produce 3 of it, then you become a star formation. You can create a physicality to embrace others inside. Just give it time. Start understanding it. Listen to the teaching of this morning 100 times. Every time you hear something new, a new word, a new sentence, a new way is being explained, and then you get enlightened. Man is ready to leave the dimension of physicality. This is what I said and before. Up to now, the release of our soul from the cage of our physicality was done at the point of death. For the first time, man has the power to have control, that the death shall never beat man. This is the freedom. This is the beauty of the teaching. This is why we started this teaching from the beginning. The freedom. Up to now, the only time your soul found freedom was when you are physically dead, you had no connection with it. For the first time, you can bring the physicality to become part of the soul, that you have the freedom of the universe. That fear point is like when you were in the womb of the mother, the fear of coming out to live a new life. As I've said in the teaching, we are teaching you for the new birth. A birth in the dimension of the soul of the man, not the physicality of the air of the man. The way you were born from the womb of the mother into this dimension, now we are teaching you to be reborn, to live without the dimension of the physicality. As I said in my teaching to Mojans, it's like me putting my back against a wall and pushing you lot through a hole to jump out. You don't know what's on the other side. This is what's holding the man back. Unknown, where the man came from and knows it well. We have started a new birth for the cycle of man to understand and to be able to convert. You have to be able to convert your physicality, what you gathered in the emotional sense, that it becomes, don't forget, remember the kitchen roll, you have to wind it up back before you can fly. You cannot fly with it still hanging. That's what we are trying to teach you. In the creation, you became the piece of the towel which is still hanging. Now we are showing you how to roll up. If you make a ball of it and pull one part of it down, you see it. You have to roll up that become one plasma. And that's what we are trying to teach. And then you find out there is, then when you come to a new position, when you are born in the dimension of understanding the soul and its strength, then you become a free man. There shall be no king. Nobody can cheat you with the name of God. Somebody's microphone is open. As we were joking with Armand this morning, he said, the Vatican and the others have collected a lot of things in the name of the God. The God is here, open the banks. We want to give it back to the people who banked it for centuries. All the money which is collected, all the assets which is collected, with the fear of this soul of the man which is inside of the man, and man has the freedom of it now to release. We would like to understand those who collected in the name of the God. God is here, hand it over. I wonder how much Vatican and the mosque and the rest we're going to hold. You collected in our name, now we are here, we want to give it back to the people. But this time we give it back to the people in the understanding of the soul of the man. They can make so much that these wealth will worth nothing, because now you have the freedom of the space. If you can absorb enough energy at the strength of the gold, you can create gold in the presence of anything. It's just that you're too scared. And I have to push you through the hole that, you know, when you go into the birth room, the doctor keep on saying, push, push. Now I'm trying to do that push. But my push is to release the energy from the physical soul into the soul of the man, which is in the center of his brain, in a way rolling up the curtain, ready to go. And your fear is, if I roll up, what am I going to come up and what I'm going to be on the other side? That's your fear.
We need the full trust
In yourself and nobody else. There is no God, there is no creator. It's you who leads to the creation of yourself on the other side.
Can I question, Mr. Keshe?
Yes.
Good day, it's Jalal here.
Yes.
If I make a skill from 0 to 10 to knowing the soul and all of that, controlling and all of these things. I know some persons who can see entities, unphysical entities, and they can hear them. Where
So
that
can you. So can you. If you understand your soul, you can do the same. It's no magic.
You know what? It's not magic. And I told this person, I am learning for 2 years this technology, and I didn't get it. And you without nothing, you're already there. You need only to, as you said, this person put control to what he receive and what he give. Is it that truth, Mr. Keshe, that this person is already there in this skill? In which number he is?
I don't know. I don't know what he says. I'm not aware of. You see, there is no scale. Some of us can do this path in 1 second, and some of us can spend whole lifetime not to understand it. There is no scale to it.
Okay. And what about the person who can receive messages from
It's
the
very
universe?
easy. You will do it. If you understand, you got to tune the strength to. I was sitting with let me explain to you something. Those are who are there. They were with us with emotions. A few days ago, we were sitting and there was a cup of water on the table with ice. In trying to explain the presence of the energy of the soul, instantaneously, literally instantaneously, because of what I carry, I could see the soul of the creator and I could not teach. I could see the central line where I came from. It was all in one cup. It doesn't take billions of years to build to it. If you understand it, you see it. It happens to me very few times, but every time it happens, I don't see any need for life in physicality. I said to Armand, I don't want to be here. It doesn't take
But you are
millions
not
of
from
years.
here.
I don't know. Some blood tests and hair tests says, no, I'm not. But we don't know. I still fall in love like everybody else and I eat like everybody else. But the reality is, frequently, I go in the essence of seeing the light of the Creator. And as part of it, we become part of it. It's very simple. Sometimes people work for centuries to get, but I was sitting there and it happens to me many times. I see the essence of the Creator in the creation and being part of it. And to me, this physical life is a waste of time.
Okay. The flash of light, what you just cleared. I see this flash of light in the right side of my eye. And this happens after I put the CO2 drops. This is before 4 or 5 months.
That is the field gas of the material. That's nothing to do with your soul.
So we are not yet. So,
It's got to come in from inside. one of the emotions had it. That's why I had to explain to him. One of the emotions reached that point, and one of the emotions will tell you they can't feel their heart. It's not there because it means they access the energy of the universe. In time, when they want to introduce themselves, they tell you the experiences they had and the process they've been through. And in a way, what I taught them in 6 weeks in bits and bobs, you've been learning in one morning, but because it's so tight, you don't understand it. Yeah, now you have to make the mixture of the strength.
It's so simple that we don't see it. I know that.
Oh, I don't know yet. Maybe it's so hard that we can't get it.
Thank you, Mr.
We're
Keshe.
coming nearly to 2.5 hours. I will not come back in the afternoon session, but I'll leave it to you. Come back in and try collectively to find out. We'll run this way because it's no use teaching so much in so rapid way when you don't get time to practice it, when you don't get time to understand it more than practicing it. Those who have studied in the school of Buddha should be able to understand part of the process. Those who studied and believed in the path of Moses have a long way to go because it's modeled with a lot of physicality and it's become part of the grain of the soul of the man. It's a dust on the soul. To clean it takes a long time. And it goes the same with the others in the strength of their path. Try to understand your own creation and you'll come to your own creator. That's the secret.
Hello, Mr. Keshe. This is Klaus too from Austria. I want to bring in a little bit enlightenment. I'm sitting in the garden and hear your teaching and feel my heartbeat and build up 2 strong light balls in my hands and a third above. And then I change the color from the balls to red, green, and gold, and let the balls turn. And immediately, the strong wind, we have strong wind today, stops, and the sun comes out. And it's so easy to connect with your soul when it's your wish, and then it is in this moment. Thank you.
But you have a beautiful garden, class. Huh? Yes. And it's full of things. It's not easy for many of us. I've been in your garden. I know what you're talking about. You have created that environment.
Okay, this is our paradise and we work with it.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you too. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for being here today. Try to get together this afternoon. Don't try to explain it in physicality. Try to understand the freedom of the soul and you will reach it. As long as you put material condition, this has to feel that way. You've got to get so much energy. I have to put my 2 fingers together and rock like a wool and everything else. You find the further far you are from reality of the creation and control and being in touch with your soul.
Hello?
Hello, yes.
Okay, thank you very much, sir, for everything. It's an honor to talk to you in direct. My name is Mehran. I live in Paris. I had
from where?
I live in Paris.
Paris.
My name is Mehran.
Mehran, you're Iranian, I presume.
Yes.
Yes. Mehr is the same, means love and care.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm very emotive. I have you in front. So I wanted to ask, how can my spirituality controls my mental sometimes? my mental, which carries all the education, and then my spirituality. Sometimes I know that's different. I see my spirituality somebody wise, calm, and then sometimes mental and all these fears, education comes in and makes me not really afraid, but discouraged to go on with things I believe in. How can my spirituality control these moments of doubt coming from my past education?
The thing is, depends what you call spirituality. What is a spirit?
My real me.
Your spirit is the freedom of your soul. The spirit of man is the extent of the freedom of the soul to expand within the dimension of material world. We could never find it. We could never explain it. We call it the spirits and the Holy Ghost and the rest of it. But in fact, what if you redefine the interaction of
Hello, Mr. Keshe. Hello. And it appears we've temporarily lost Mr. Keshe for a minute here. Bear with us as we wait for him to come back in.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Can you hear us? Hello, Mr. Keshe. Can you hear us?
Hello.
No, he can't hear us. Hello, Mr. Keshe. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear us?
Yes, I was on the other channel. You didn't pick me up. I came back on this one. What is important is we haven't understood the difference between the soul and spirit. And it's been abused or played with the language. The spirit of the man is not the soul of the man. The soul of the man is the creator of the man. The spirit of the man is the interaction of the fields of his soul with the dimension of his physicality, emotion.
Right.
And then we are educated to control our understanding, then we have a conflict.
Yes. And what they call mental? Like they say, it's spirit, mental, and physical.
Mental is what your brain produces. It's a dimension of physicality connected to R. It's a how we call it emotion.
Right.
So it's very easy.
And then they say, one of the branches I studied, between other branches I studied, it says this life span, which is like karma, they say, which has all the instances of your life in it, all the things. And you react, like all your life is in your experience, actually. Like everything you
all
have.
our life is within our soul.
Within our soul.
We remember everything which is not memory, but is the essence of interaction of the field. It's very much when I draw a plasma and I put other plasmas inside it. The bigger plasma is our soul. And the other little plasmas which are part of this bigger plasma are the interaction of fields, what we call memories. It's the interaction of which in the future we might need it or we might use it according to the strength which we commit.
Strength which is coming. If I may, I have another question. What if we fail our mission in this life?
Nobody can fail. It's just the level we achieve.
So it's by degree. So we miss 1 degree because we were not working hard enough, right? It's like this.
Not really. It's just that the more you give, the more you receive, and that at the point of the point decides where you start.
Right.
You know, there is an old English, it says, if you don't want to be a tomato, you better catch up. You understand? So it depends what you want to be and what we want to achieve with what we are. And this is very, very simple.
Yeah, I have the big image what I want to be, like I want to be part of this grain near God, near universe, near Buddha. I know that I want to be, but I don't know the strategy to get there.
There is no strategy. You have to understand how you can elevate your soul, or you can increase the strength of your soul using the physical body of the man, which is through your heart.
Which is a big
body is the tool. Body is the tool of absorbing the energy which is needed for elevation of the soul. Body is not a point of feeding from the environment to create a further physical dimension. This is where the man has gone wrong. We use our heart in the wrong way for the wrong purpose. We use it for the existence of physicality instead of feeding the soul of the man. And this is our teaching. This is what we're trying to teach. Then you become free and detached from physicality. Because once you feel your soul, through your soul, you can feed your physicality. There is no need to kill. There is no need to destroy another life.
Exactly.
It's so simple.
I accept that feeding the soul is difficult to how to know. I drink zinc before sleeping.
Yeah, but the thing is now what we start teaching from now, you don't need to drink nothing. You have to understand the flow of the field. It's very easy, but gradually people will come to it. Once the first manner shows, the rest will follow. We've seen the evolution in the motions which have been with us. Some achieve different strengths, but in total, if you put them together, what they've learned and what they've done, in total, they achieve the totality of it. But each one carries part of it till all learn the same, then become one.
That's good. So no need to be jealous.
Oh, jealousy is a cause of loss. And that's the last thing you need. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. God bless you. You're in my prayers all the time. I pray for your protection and all the best things in the world.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much. We call it a day today, which is nearly 3 years.
Mr. Keshe, can I ask you just one final question before you go? Thank you so much.
Yes, KF. Yes.
First of all, thank you so much that through this process, I've learned a fraction of your patience, wisdom, and we have a long way to go. And I'm trying to understand, I'm sure lots of us, many of us, and as you said, we need practice, we need training. Now, if I try to connect the dots and everything you've even taught us from your childhood on, with this stereo thing and headphones and trying to localize, find and feel, not hear, but feel, align the fields and within our center. It does the holding of my breath because I've been practicing this. And if I do this every night, with everything that you've been telling us, with all these practice methods, the holding of my breath does change the conditions. I mean, in the field conditions. I have the feeling, tell me if it's nonsense or an illusion of mine, but I have the feeling if I hold my breath and radiate out simultaneously, magnetically, it's much stronger and faster and easier. So if I do this every night, am I on the right path with this?
The thing is, we have to learn one thing. When you hold your breath and you understand that you have, it's like once you hold your breath, it's like, you know, the old engines, you need a crankshaft to get it going. You have to find a crankshaft to get your heart absorbing energy from the environment, because now you feed the physicality, the emotional part of physicality of the heart with the energy you trapped above in the lung and energy with the liver underneath. Now you have to create, you created a condition of stability. Now you have to learn how to move the energy from your heart to your soul. In moving that energy, you create a demand for absorption of energy from environment. Then you don't need the physicality. And once you reach to that point, you learn it, you can do it like a flick of a finger. The reason you hold the breath is not to hold the breath, is to create a condition that, you know, that hole I told you is in the heart of the man, to create that condition that now you move it far enough up that it creates a flow demand for the soul to extract, and the flow starts. You become detached from physicality. And then, because you're still aware of the condition of the presence of the physicality of the brain of the man, you can extract the whole body into one condition. This is the beauty. You become detached from physicality because now you control the physicality. Because all the energy, when you extract, when you reduce your body, you don't take physically all the pieces of the muscles with you. Every single cell has a part of your soul. You extract the same, which is the soul of the essence of the physicality, into position of the heart, and you feed. And then there is no essence direction for the existence of physicality. This is what I said the last time. You learn what to do. Your body can be full of cancer. If you can learn how to retract the soul of the cells of the man in one collection to make the totality of the plasma of the soul of the brain, which means extracting everything to it, then as you are in the physicality of this planet and you let it go, you'll be reborn without any cancer, without any disease. This is how beings in the universe clean themselves, when they absorb physical fields which are not in theirs. Because when you track what you have created, what is surplus, it releases itself in the environment of what it should be. There are no diseases in the space if you learn how to clean yourself from it. Conversion from matter state or gas state into the plasma. Mutation of the element. So,
thank you so much. It's just one final question. I mean, you know, this point where you hold your breath, and usually, you know, because of the fear of losing whatever physical, suffocating. But there's this point, I can't put this into words, but it's a different perception of feeling. Can I use that point where you are about to, you know, grasp
I don't want to
air?
kill you. I don't want you to kill yourself. But in a way, in that point, if you know how to flick it, you enter the soul of yourself. And you create that dimension. Ali went near it, but he lost it. There are a few people who do not need it because they can reach it. Or we can create a condition that it creates what we're trying to do at the strength of our soul, that are a strength of our emotion, or what we call the soul of our physicality, can convert into a soup of it, but we never absorb it into our body, and then we have no physicality. But the minute you switch it off, you come back again. It becomes like an ice box. You have a steam and you become an ice box, and then you have a physicality. The life of the man is so simple. It's just man who's made it so complicated for himself. Thank you very much for today. Please, this is how we will run these things from now on. We come back in 1 hour. And when we come back in 1 hour, you try to explain to each other, because in consulting and understanding, you can achieve a lot. Me being here continuously teaching, you never get to exercise, you never get to practice. Many of you, within a matter of hours or days, will see the conversion, and you can teach, because then you teach through the soul, the others understand. But it's very simple. See, if you see the light through your eyes, it means you have learned how to expand the dimension of it. See if you can remove and take part of what is the part of your soul, in a way, what is the electron in your heart. You can separate it from physicality, and knowing surely you can control it, you can leave it and it comes back to you. You can create a space reactors. Very easy. You don't need, there is no need for even buying a screw or a core, if you understand this process of teaching we started today. It'll be, a lot of you have thought about it. It's like what I said, I was telling Arman. We've always been nano makers with the woks. The Chinese were ahead of us, but we never knew, and they were putting a salt in it, and they were making our GANs, and we said, so why are we so hungry once we eat the Chinese so quick? Because we were eating GANs than the material. The material digestion was taking too much energy. That's why we feel hungry. We all know the secret of the soul of the man. We are too afraid to open it, because then we have to leave the physicality we enjoy so much. With me, I chose the dimension of physicality for the pleasures it brings. When you hold a woman in your hand, it gives you so much pleasure. When you hold your child, it gives you the confirmation of I am the creator. When you hold an animal, you see the affection unconditional, because he has no need on you. Then you understand, world of physicality has a lot of beauties. It's us which have to be detached from it. Then you can always come back to it. Thank you very much for today. I'll see you tomorrow morning, but come back at 2 o'clock. Don't try to explain it in the language of physicality. Try to see each one of you across the world, if you can feel the other, the emotion of the other. Then you start letting go. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that, Mr. Keshe. Very good. Okay, that ends the double, even triple today.
Okay, no problem. I'll send you the bill. Thank you very much indeed. See you tomorrow morning.
We pay with the love of the earth.
Thank you very much indeed.
What was that in the background? Pardon me?
Are we coming back at 8 o'clock?
8 o'clock when
back 1 hour.
1 hour.
I mean, 8 o'clock.
1 hour.
Okay.
In 1 hour for 3 hours. Okay?
Thank you very much.
Good.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, thank you. That'll be the end of the Blueprint for Peace for Humanity, Day 2 for the first session, Monday, July 3rd, 2017. And thank you, everybody, for attending. We'll have another afternoon session in approximately 1 hour at the 2 o'clock is CEST time. Okay, we'll end the live stream and end the Zoom meeting.